Hey everybody, Dave Specter here with Chicago Blues Network, chicagobluesnetwork.com. Check out our website for a very cool variety of online lessons. Hope to be in person very soon. Some great teachers, blues guitar, blues piano, blues bass, and we focus on a 16 song set list featuring a lot of the classic war horses, a lot of the standards, a lot of the classics of Chicago blues. And we step outside of Chicago too, which I'm going to be doing here as we take a look at T-Bone Walker's Stormy Monday. I believe it was originally called, they call it Stormy Monday. And this is like probably the most universally played slow blues in the world. But the things that I'm going to show you will hopefully help you in tunes other than Stormy Monday. From, T-Bone was so hugely influential, probably the most influential electric blues guitar player ever. B.B. King loved him, worshipped him, Chuck Berry did, so many other players did, and he just invented so many of the blues guitar sounds you still hear today. So thank you, T-Bone. Check out his recordings, Imperial recordings, Atlantic recordings. There's some really cool clips of him on YouTube. We're going to be focusing on two forms of the ninth chord and the key of G that really make up and comprise all of the rhythm within this slow blues. So the first form of the ninth chord sounds like this. These chords are all movable, and what I did there was just move it from a G9, G sharp or A flat, just up a half step. I'm just doing triplet downstrokes. So let's look at the fingering on that. This chord has an implied root. You're not playing the root. Interesting. So the fingering is you're basically going to be using two sets of fingers on two frets. Your first set of fingers is going to be index and middle, followed by ring and pinky. Index and middle, second fret, A string and G string. Second fret A string, second fret G string, and then your ring finger is going to go to third fret D string, and then pinky's going to go to third fret B string. So the second set of fingers is D string and B string. And then that first set of fingers, second fret A string and G string. Here's the chord. Arpeggiate that. Move it up a half step. Arpeggiate it a half step up. Second form of the ninth chord. It's really nice because they're on the same frets. G9, C9. This form, you are playing the root, middle finger on the C, third fret A string. The next note is the second fret D string with your index finger. And then just bar the top three strings with your ring finger on the third fret. Should be pretty easy because you have this joint here that just bends. When you arpeggiate it, make sure you hear every string. And again, these are all movable, as I said earlier. That's just a full step or a half step. T-Bone used a lot of half-step chordal movements and full-step chordal movements, but the half-step to me just has this really cool tension to it. Okay, and then for our five chords, so our one chord is the G9, our four chord is the C9, our five chord is just that C9 moved up a full step. And fret. That's your D9. There's your root. Walking it down to the C9. And then on my G9, I like that half step above. Here's a nice trick that T-Bone did a lot, where you will play the root with this implied root G9 chord, and I want you to just flatten out your pinky so it's barring the E string and the B string on the 3rd fret. So it's barring, and you hear that high G now. If you're not used to using your pinky, that might be a little hard at first. And also, a classic T-Bone sound is to arpeggiate it and add that high G with our pinky like this. All right, so those are the chords we're going to be using. And I'm going to play through it, 12-bar blues. It's got the quick change, which means that rather than just staying on the 1 for the first 4 bars, rather than just staying on the G for the first 4 bars, the 2nd bar, switch quick change to a C, just for that 2nd bar. That's really common in slow blues and different tempos, but all that means is it sounds like this: 2, 3, 4. There's the quick change. Now 2 more bars of 1. I'll show you that. Now we have 2 bars of full. I'm going to stop there on the 5 because it's really common, and especially in today's blues world, to hit that 5 and then walk down to the 4, and then it resolves. But when you listen to T-Bone play slow blues, rather than playing that 5 for just 1 bar, he stays on the 5 rather than walking down to the 4. And then resolves to the 1 for the turnaround. Now what he does a lot when he plays that 5, rather than that straight D9, he'll add that A bottom. He'll do this great sounding move here. So my middle finger's going up to 6 low E, index finger coming down on 5 D. To the top. Any questions? Put them in the comments section. I would love to hear your feedback, and happy to answer any questions you might have on that part of the lesson so far. I believe the original T-Bone version had an intro that's kind of like this. That cool augmented chord. That's a nice 5 chord. Ring finger at 5A, middle finger at 4D, and then barring with my first finger on the G string and the B string. So it should sound like this. before I did half step above to the C9, and then a half step below, and walk into it. Right there, great signature T-bone move with the chords and then hitting that high G. So it's just a half step, half step below the G9, and then just walk up chromatically a full step, back down a half step, and then I'm just finishing it off with that G9 and barring that high G with my pinky. You listen to T-Bone Slow Blues, you'll hear that a lot, especially on Stormy Monday. That's a great signature riff in the song. Okay, I also highly recommend you check out the Bobby Blue Bland version that he recorded with the great guitarist Wayne Bennett, who I had the pleasure of knowing, and he lived in Chicago back in the 90s for a while. Just one of the giants of blues guitar. He's kind of an unsung hero, not as well known as he should be. But that recording that Bobby did, I believe it was in the 50s, on Duke Records, of Stormy Monday is a classic, and the Wayne Bennett guitar playing on that is just genius. So check that out. And I'm sure some of you have heard the Allman Brothers version that has some passing chords that we can talk about at a future time. But I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Please check out my other lessons online with blues classics like Smokestack Lightning, Blow Wind Blow, Dust My Broom, Let Me Love You Baby, so many more. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, everybody. Hope to see you in person sometime soon. All right, take care.